This week on Inside Boulder News. A new ordinance took effect this week. Find out what this means for you. OSMP wants to hear from community members at this upcoming event. And law enforcement officers in the county get recognized at this annual awards ceremony.
Welcome to Inside Boulder News, your source for all things Boulder. I'm Jocelyn Avendaño. Boulder City Council made a unanimous vote earlier this fall to ban the sale of flavored e-cigarette products containing nicotine. This and other regulations pertaining to tobacco went into effect this week.
Vaping-related deaths are on the rise. The Center for Disease Control has reported at least 33 deaths along with more than 1,400 people falling ill due to e-cigarettes. With consumption rising among teens, this had Boulder parents worried.
And this summer, the City of Boulder was contacted by a group of concerned parents who asked the city to take action around this issue. And so it provided an opportunity for the city to really look deeply at it, work with community in terms of individuals impacted by vaping, as well as local retailers to determine the best path forward.
A local study found that 46% of Boulder Valley School District high school students have used an electric vaping device. Some of them reporting that they were able to purchase their own vaping product at gas stations, convenience stores, or drugstores. To curb this use, City Council passed Ordinance 8340 earlier this fall.
Ordinance 8340 will prohibit the sale of all tobacco products to individuals younger than 21 years old. It'll also require age verification upon purchase. It will also, it is banning flavors, so purchase of flavored tobacco products in the City of Boulder, as well as it will limit the number of products a retailer can sell within a 24-hour period.
Ordinance 8340 took effect on October 17th. This makes Boulder among the first in Colorado cities to enact a flavor sale ban on e-cigarettes and associated products.
This is important and able to, for our community to limit the access to these products and usage by young people.
More information on this city ordinance can be found on the website seen on your screen.
Boulder's Fire Rescue strives to make Boulder a safer place to live, work, and play. Besides fighting fires, the department offers many services including fire safety education to the public, as well as community risk reduction. And later this month, the Center for Public Safety and Excellence will be making a stop in the city for a possible accreditation of Boulder's Fire Rescue.
Boulder's Fire Rescue responds to more than 10,000 emergencies annually, protecting more than $21 billion worth of property within the city and Boulder's open space and mountain parks. Currently, the department is on the road to get accredited by the Center for Public Safety and Excellence.
And so what accreditation does is it asks a team of industry professionals to come in and take a look at your organization and in our case verify and validate things that we have said about ourselves.
The accreditation, presented by the Commission on Fire Accreditation International, examines the services fire departments offer based on industry-based practices. Based on what the Commission finds, they may go on to make additional recommendations to further the services fire departments offer the community.
At the end of it, you hope that they will recommend you get accredited and the accrediting body will bestow upon us that seal of accreditation. But in a sense, we've already won, because it's caused us to think critically of our operations and make sure we're doing the right type of services for the right types of risks. We've already made tons of changes as a result of some of this self-reflection.
In preparation and becoming accredited, Boulder's Fire Rescue has put in place several programs and process improvements, one of them being the recently implemented Wildfire Home Assessment Project, which aims to conduct an assessment of each home within the city's wildland-urban interface boundary.
And when I became chief, one of my main goals was to engage in the process of accreditation with the hope of becoming an accredited agency. And so I started us right away in 2015 on doing the groundwork that I thought was necessary to get us in a position to become an accredited agency.
The Commission will be visiting Boulder during the last week of October before making their accreditation recommendation.
I think the value to the community is they get a department that is more closely aligned with the risk, as opposed to just doing things because, one, we've always done them that way, or because we think it is the right thing. Now we're actually putting science and data and information behind some of the resource decisions that we're making.
More information on Boulder Fire Rescue's programs and services can be found on bouldercolorado.gov/fire rescue.
The city recently announced that it will begin an expedited review of how it manages irrigated fields and prairie dogs. Boulder is also seeking input on ways it can foster healthy soils and sustainable agricultural land use at an upcoming community event.
The city's Open Space and Mountain Parks Department is set to host an open house where attendees are invited to learn about the challenges and share ideas on managing irrigated agricultural fields north of J Road, which is currently occupied by a large abundance of prairie dogs. OSMP currently has more than 1,050 acres of irrigable agricultural land that are inhabited by prairie dogs, with prairie dogs occupying majority of irrigated fields in some parts of Boulder. Due to large prairie dog populations, Boulder City Council and the Open Space Board of Trustees have acknowledged that it may be infeasible to address this issue in a timely or economical fashion by current non-lethal practices alone.
During the open house, we certainly want to hear what community members have to say, their interests and ideas for help us to address some of these complexities and challenges. And one thing we're also going to do during the open house is actually promote and update the community on work that our Prairie Dog Working Group has done and our work to implement some of those recommendations.
The open house will be held on Wednesday, October 23rd from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at OSMP's Hub Building. More information can be found on the website seen on screen. October marks National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This week, Boulder County recognized the work law enforcement officers do with victims of domestic violence with the Beth Haynes Memorial Award. Beth Haynes was a Boulder police officer who died in the line of duty during a domestic violence call in 1994. The award that carries her name is given to Boulder County law enforcement officers who work domestic violence cases. This year's top recipient of the Beth Haynes Award was Boulder Police Department's Detective Steve Faber, who has a drive to defend victims of domestic violence.
Domestic violence is it's across the country and just a major problem, and I love working those serious vulnerable cases and a lot of victims and stuff that we work and stuff those cases. They're afraid to speak out, to come forward and to get involved and stuff, and then it falls on us to be their eyes and ears and their voice, and please let me do that for you. Let me be your eyes, let me be your ears and your voice for you to try to get some justice for you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of Inside Boulder News. If you have pictures, news tips, or events you'd like to see featured, we love to hear from you. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe. And don't forget to check out the city's newsroom for the latest city news. Have a good week.